Hello and welcome, friends. Welcome to today's Explainer. We're about to take a highly structured, visual journey across a truly fascinating, geographically diverse nation. We're diving into a country where history literally speaks through ancient ruins and modern cities alike, and where the landscape wildly shifts from sun-drenched coastlines to some of the absolute highest mountain peaks on the planet. Get ready to have your preconceptions challenged, because we're going to unpack the realities of Pakistan using hard data, historical facts, and some incredible regional highlights straight from our source material.
But right off the bat, think about this for a second. Which country manufactures the most footballs globally and simultaneously boasts an incredible 95% literacy rate in its remote northern mountain valleys? Now you might immediately picture a European nation, right? Well, the answer is actually Pakistan. The city of Sialkot is world-renowned for hand-stitched footballs favored all across Europe, while those northern valleys hold educational statistics that rival any developed nation. Why does this matter? Because it perfectly proves that our baseline assumptions about a place often miss the most fascinating realities on the ground.
So, here is our tour itinerary for today's Explainer. We'll start with Pakistan by the numbers, then move to Lahore, the cultural heart. Next, exploring the northern wonders, followed by Peshawar and the Kailash Valley. From there, we sweep down to the southern economic hubs, and finally we end at Islamabad, the planned capital.
Section 1. Pakistan by the numbers. Let's zoom out and look at the macro view to truly grasp the scale of this country. Okay, let's just dive right into this massive number, 250 million. Established back in 1947, Pakistan is currently the fifth most populous nation in the entire world. It spans over 780,000 square kilometers and shares borders with Afghanistan, Iran, China, and India. And objectively speaking, it's a significant global entity, operating as the only Muslim-majority nation with atomic capabilities.
Now, within that 250 million people is an absolutely incredible linguistic mosaic. You know, it's really fascinating. While Urdu is the official language of the country, it's actually a native tongue to only about 8% of the population. The vast majority of the country speaks regional languages. 40% speak Punjabi, 20% Pashto, 16% Sindhi, and 12% Saraiki. This is absolutely crucial to understand because it reveals the nation not as this single monolith, but as a true mosaic of completely distinct cultures that just happen to share one national border.
Economically speaking, the country's history is full of surprises. Today, the modern economy has a GDP of $410 billion, which works out to an annual per capita income of around $710. But if we rewind the clock back to the 1960s, the economic strength was pretty remarkable. Pakistan actually provided aid to Japan as they were rebuilding from World War II. And get this, in 1963, they loaned $25 million to Germany. It's a fascinating contrast, really, adding so much depth to our understanding of the region's historical economic weight, and it definitely points to a capacity for rapid economic shifts.
Section 2. Lahore, the cultural heart. We are now zooming geographically into the capital of the Punjab province.
Lahore is widely considered the cultural beating heart of the nation, famous for poetry, romance, and an incredibly rich history. It was actually conquered by Mahmud Ghaznavi way back in the 11th century. Today, literally every street in its walled city feels like an open history book. Take the Badshai Mosque, for example. Built in 1673, it has an architectural design similar to Delhi's Jama Masjid and can hold a staggering 100,000 worshippers. Right across from it sits the Shahi Qila, or Royal Fort. It's situated in a walled city originally accessed by 13 ancient gates built during the reigns of Shah Jahan and Aurangzeb. And just outside sits the Minar-e-Pakistan, which marks the exact site of the pivotal 1940 resolution. Both the mosque and the fort are UNESCO World Heritage Sites, and they stand as absolute architectural anchors of South Asian history.
But you really can't understand Lahore without understanding its food. The Old Town's morning rituals are legendary. Just imagine walking through those ancient streets and starting your day with these rich, sensory delights. You've got puri halwa from famous spots like Sadiq or Shahab Sweets near Taxali Gate. There's spicy nihari, hearty siri pie, and honestly, no breakfast there is complete without a massive glass of Jet Lassi. It is, for sure, an absolute paradise for food lovers.
Section 3. Exploring the northern wonders. Here, we're looking at a region whose natural beauty easily rivals, and some argue even surpasses, places like Switzerland.
The Gilgit-Baltistan region is a place of unbelievable geographical extremes. To get there, travelers navigate the breathtaking Karakoram Highway, which is a marvel of engineering on its own, passing the 13,700-foot Babusar top. Eventually you reach Skardu and the Deosai Plains. Often called the roof of the world, Deosai is this surreal, high-altitude, cold desert ecosystem. You literally feel like you can reach out and touch the sky, completely surrounded by snow-capped peaks and stunning lakes with water so vivid you can hardly believe your eyes. And honestly, the only reason it isn't completely overrun with global tourists is simply due to current infrastructure challenges.
And nestled right within these northern mountains is the Hunza Valley. Remember that incredible statistic from the very beginning of our explainer? 95% is the literacy rate right here. The people of Hunza place a massive emphasis on education, all while living in an area steeped in ancient history. In fact, standing right in this valley are the Altit and Baltit forts, which are over 700 years old. This matters immensely because it showcases exactly how deep-rooted educational values can thrive in even the most remote geographical locations.
Section 4, Peshawar and Kailash Valley. Let's shift our focus westward now to the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province. Tucked away about 360 kilometers from Peshawar is the Kailash Valley. It's home to a highly unique, deeply mysterious population of just 3,000 to 4,000 people. They maintain a distinct religion and culture found nowhere else on Earth. One of their most famous traditions comes from the Chilam Jashi festival, where young unmarried couples actually elope for 3 to 4 days. It's an incredibly well-preserved piece of ancient culture operating in total isolation, and it really reminds us of how many unique human stories are still tucked away in the world's remote corners.
Heading into the city of Peshawar itself, known as the gateway to Khyber, we find bustling food streets like Namak Mandi and magnificent historic houses called the Seti Havelis. But here is a completely unexpected pop culture connection. Did you know Peshawar is the ancestral ground for some of Bollywood's absolute biggest superstars? The legendary Kapoor family, including Raj Kapoor, had their ancestral Haveli right here. It's the origin place of cinematic icon Dilip Kumar. And the family home of Bollywood's King Kong, Shah Rukh Khan, is located right near Peshawar's famous Kisa Kawani Bazaar. Small world, right?
Section 5. The Southern Economic Hubs. Let's shift gears from culture to commerce and head south toward the Arabian Sea coastline.
So the crucial point here is that Pakistan's economic potential is heavily tied to its geography. The province of Balochistan is basically an absolute treasure trove of untapped natural resources. The region is incredibly rich in gold, copper, chromite, iron, zinc, coal, and natural gas. Objectively speaking, if these resources were fully extracted, the economic standing of the entire country would shift dramatically on a global scale. Plus, the province is home to the strategic deepwater port of Gwadar, which is slated to be a crucial node in future international trade corridors like CPEC.
Further along the Arabian Sea coastline is Karachi. This is the commercial beating heart of the nation. We are talking about a massive megacity with a population exceeding 20 million people. Astoundingly, this single city generates 35% of the entire country's national revenue. Filled with towering skyscrapers in areas like Clifton and bustling with incredible diversity, Karachi's economy is undeniably the financial engine of the nation.
Section 6. Islamabad, the planned capital. Finally, let's look at a major global capital city that didn't even exist before 1960. Let's trace exactly how this happened. When the country was founded in 1947, Karachi was actually the capital. But by the 1950s, Karachi was suffering from severe overpopulation, water shortages, and pollution. Plus, its location on the extreme southern coast made access pretty difficult from the other provinces. So what was the logical solution? Build a brand new capital from scratch right in the center. In 1958, a planning committee was formed by Ayub Khan, and by 1960, construction began under the vision of Greek architect Konstantinos Doxiadis. Today, Islamabad is this pristine, grid-based city, neatly organized into highly functional green sectors.
And one of the absolute crown jewels of this planned city is the Faisal Mosque. Sitting against the beautiful backdrop of the Margalla Hills, its creation was a truly international effort. After a 1966 visit by Saudi King Faisal, who proposed a national mosque, a stunning Turkish architectural design was chosen. Construction commenced a decade later in 1976. When it was finally completed in 1986 at a massive cost of $120 million, which was fully funded by Saudi Arabia, it stood as the largest mosque in the entire world until 1993. Even today, it can accommodate a staggering 300,000 worshippers at a single time.
Well, we have covered immense ground today, traversing all the way from the astonishing peaks of the Karakoram to the ancient gates of Lahore, uncovering everything from deep Bollywood roots to globally significant resource reserves. And all of these incredible realities exist within just one country's borders. So I want to leave you with this final thought. From untouched Himalayan peaks to hidden historical bazaars, what surprising global stories remain completely undiscovered in your own region? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Until next time, keep exploring and keep learning.